Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Won't you tell me where my love can be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring, where my heart can go a journey over the shadows and the rain to a blossom-covered lane? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as a will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy serenading the moon. Oh, Skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, but my heart is riding on your wings. If you see them anywhere, won't you lead me? If you see them anywhere, lead me there. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's pretty hilarious that you guys have asked a singer to talk. So I thought I would remind myself that what I do is sing. When I go into the classroom, I go not as a teacher as much as an artist. And so I teach from that place of who I am, a jazz improvising voice. And that's where I try to intersect my students, is right there. Today I've entitled my little talk, The Grace of Great Things. The Grace of Great Things. And I looked up a definition of grace because I really couldn't exactly remember what the technical definition of it was. And Wikipedia was not really that helpful. They had a lot of sort of technical jargon between, you know, grace divides Catholics and Protestants. I said, you know what, that's not going to be really helpful for my little talk. So I reached back for a definition that probably came from my grandmother. And it goes something like, grace is that thing you didn't earn, you didn't necessarily ask for, and you certainly don't deserve. It's a little different from luck, but maybe a second, you know, or third cousin to luck. My mother was born in Texarkana, Texas in 1928. The laws of the land at that time, the laws of segregation, created a barrier between her and the arts. My mother was the eldest of 3 children. She is theater. I wouldn't say she's theatrical, I would say she is theater. Drama queen, that's my mother, in a good way. She loved music. She loves all of the arts. But my mother was a full-grown woman before she ever attended any live performance. Her entire young life, her artistic experience was found through the church experience. You see, art is like a river. If you block one way, it'll find another way to find itself. And so the church became that place where my mother discovered music and other forms of art. There were quilting. It was a whole community that provided outlets for artistic expression in her small community. And this river continued to flow through her adult life. My mother moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1948 after graduating high school. And when she married and had her family, she was determined that her children would have access that was denied to her. The denial that, yes, marked my mother, became like a trampoline for her, because she dragged us to every single arts event that was available in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We went to see Persian mystic poets. We went to see Arthur Fiedler. We went to see Alvin Ailey. We saw the Fisk Jubilee Singers. We saw nameless, unfamous people and very famous people, and we didn't know the difference between. How grateful am I for a mother that knew somehow that the arts embodied the grace of great things. She wanted her children, usually we were pretty reluctant, but she wanted her children to experience beauty. Always, always on a quest for beauty. She knew somehow that on the other side of that poetry reading or that theatrical event or that dance performance, we would somehow be changed. As difficult as it must have been for my mother when she was a young girl, she made sure that her young girl was raised to believe that nothing was beyond her reach. So that was the atmosphere that I was raised in, that the world belongs to you. Sing, dance, shout, exult, enjoy your life. I found my voice in the church. I found my voice and became acquainted with the grace of great things through my church experience and through the voices of the non-famous. Grace, grace, oh my God's grace, His grace is sufficient for victory. Oh, yes. Voices of the unfamous, but voices that moved you to tears. I was about 8 years old the first time I sang in public. And oh my goodness, the attention I got for that was so good. I just knew I had to have more and more and more of that. The power to move one's spirit in a mighty way, that is the grace of great things. Each of you in your own way participates in this magical journey, in this magical grace moment. Each of you in your own ways works to make all of this possible. The artist, I mean, you guys are the official behind-the-scenes folks, and the artist sees the audience from one vantage point, you see the audience from one vantage point, and you have a lot of other things to be concerned with, but the grace of great things is operating in your lives as well. My voice, discovered in a church experience. My mother's loving and nurturing spirit that gave me the confidence to believe I could do whatever I wanted to do, coupled with exposure to dance and theater and, yes, jazz music. I found that spirit and power could be found also in Miles Davis and in Bill Evans and in the voice of Billie Holiday or Sarah Vaughan. On my own personal journey, the mantra, bloom where you are planted, is what got me off of my bed of excuses and on to pursuing my dream of singing.